Hello everyone, this is Floxcat, and yes, welcome back to finally a explained video on episode 3 of High Five Friends. Now, before I truly begin, I do have to have an explanation on why I kind of actually have not released a video like this, or even made a video like this, because I know it's been literally like 2 weeks since the third episode. The reason why is kind of simple. One, things kind of got in my way. There's a bunch of other projects I had to do. Two, I kind of wanted to take a little bit of a break a little bit. Mostly because I know that recently, you guys, as stated before, I've been trying to change up my channel a little bit. Not all the way, but try to make it more somewhat more video games. Actually do more playthroughs and talk about stuff, but still try to do explain videos and stuff like that. Like I said in my review video of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which you haven't seen, I highly recommend, although pretty much you probably can guess what rating that is. I'm actually going to also try to do more Pokemon theory videos, especially since there's a lot of stuff in Scarlet and Violet I want to theorize about. And pretty much, just the other stuff, but mostly I am kind of switching gears mostly to my channel having more gameplay videos than normal videos. For reasons, but the other reason is mostly, I will admit, I kind of fell off a little bit, especially last week, which would have been a good week, but unfortunately I got sick last Monday, and of course Thanksgiving, so it's been a while, to say the least. I did rewatch the video, and of course I'll look through it for y'all, but mainly this video is pretty simple. On story-wise, it is, but on code-wise, holy crap, we got a lot to talk about, because I'm glad I hold off and waited for a bit to give myself a break from it, because, yeah, we got a lot of codings to talk about, including a very interesting one. Now, I will say this, I don't know too much about these codings. There's also been a lot of stuff that's been happening outside of High Five Friends, to say the least. But, of course, let's go ahead and get into it and stuff. And let's go ahead and review the video. Alright, the first thing is, as I'm trying to keep it stayed right there, pause. Let's do a pause. Switch light. Anyways, you see all these fabulous people talking about their vote of listen to your heart kind of thing, which we kind of talked about before, being heart and logic, being the angel and demon cliche going on with Happy. And of course, basically as shown through this, yeah, pretty much it won by a landslide, which, to say the least, I'm kind of questioning that, mostly because you should follow your brain, but I don't know. Anyways, next up, we do see, of course, a scene where Happy is running from the police as we hear sirens on it. By the way, real quick, I'm not gonna put up the volume at all because, for reasons. Disgust me. I think there was a copyright claim on my reaction video for some reason, but either way, we see him running through this thing, just running from the police, and we'll soon see in a bit. Anyways, the next thing, and kind of funny thing, is we see the reporter yelling action when there's no one behind anyone. However, there is one thing that I will admit myself, I blinked it and missed it, I think, in my reaction, but there's Braille. That is Braille right there. We'll talk about a little bit later what that is, but isn't our coding and stuff. And also, just a side note, this is just kind of a weird photo negative thing for some reason. I don't know, but yeah. Anyways, it's kind of funny because he commented on every time he yells action, no one's behind the camera, which you think the producer would the manager would literally look before he leaps, kind of thing. I don't know why he doesn't do that, but okay, whatever. Anyways, Anyways, the next major thing. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know why my phone went upside down. But the next major thing we need to talk about is what happened to Happy. So Happy took a day off, and of course we see literally this, and he's literally talking about a new pet called Critters. And there's a couple things I do need to point out here before we continue. First off and foremost is, what are these critters? Well, they're pretty much just hand things. I don't know what they are. I think it's either a mutant species, because they're literally just baby hands. Not just normal baby hands, but literally baby hands. Like mini baby hands. And I'm not going to show it because it's but yeah, it bites off his fingers and he's like, I don't care. Which I guess that's fine. Second more major important thing is we see that SolCorp is once again throwing up its brand with literally something called SolTube. Okay, I was hoping that's not a real thing. It's obvious, to quickly explain this, because this is just easy, is an Easter egg joke of how YouTube got in bad kind of scenario, and how one time, I know GP Reed said this, but how many people think that sooner or later someone is going to come over and replace YouTube. That's what the joke is. It's also, once again showing how in this universe, I think SolCorp is very powerful, because, I don't know. And one more thing, I don't know about the coloring. I'm thinking it's just random coincidence, but I love how the coloring is red and violet. I think that's supposed to be a joke reference to Scarlet and Violet, but I don't know. I've been playing that game too much now, so I think it just reminds me of that. But yeah, the more important thing is, for pretty much SolTube. I have no idea how to say that. I guess SolTube is a fucking thing that exists. Also, we see more Braille, and you probably already saw it earlier. We saw more Braille. I'll explain it later. We also get to the chat, who pretty much explains there's nothing in the tank as such. Pretty much answering the questions. We see that their names are Kristen the Queen, Opal Surprise, and Reincarnate Strawberry. I don't know if these are just more Easter egg reference, because I truly feel like these could be Easter egg references to something, but I'm not sure. That you have to ask GP Reed himself for that. But anyways, long story short, we do get to see them, and like I said, I'll skip this real quick. But yeah, I'm not joking. They look like little baby hands. Of course, we see earlier that night, which we get to see something interesting that Happy does that is completely batshit crazy, but is not surprising. And yeah, literally just see this. He literally is trying to break through the window. Literally. Going over the thing. Jumping over stuff. I don't know. It gets even weirder and weirder. Like, just a side note, I don't know how GP Reed was able to do what he did here. Because in general, I think it's his own house. Yes, he also licks the door. We'll explain that in a bit. Like, literally, and he starts literally breaking in the door and stuff. And then we hear cops, like, inspected, and we see him literally yell at this thing. Which, Okay. Again, this is GP Reed in a costume right now. I have no idea how he was able to pull that off. I mean, obviously, he probably had to notify his neighbors for doing that shit, because obviously that is a good way to get yourself in major trouble. I give him props to that, though. And finally, we see him going to red, being the happy, which again represents him being happy, though it does beg question of what's going on. Elise. So yeah, that's the video. Again, nothing too much except for that crazy ending, but there are a few extra things to need to point out. First of all, there is a song which once again, I had to mute it because of copyright issues. I don't know if that really was the case or something. I don't know. It's weird, but either way, of course, the song itself is kind of important. I'm not going to go into too much details, but it talks about, it has some very interesting lore to it. The biggest being that it has a line saying that everyone is a symbiote, which is definitely a very interesting thing, comparing us to parasites, I guess. The second thing is, the reason why that was shown, which kind of does worry me, is the fact that that's the same thing he did before. Before the woman, I'm blanking on her name, went missing, or probably dead because we see a freaking knife with blood in the previous episode. The reason why I'm saying that is that's the exact same thing. So it shows, once again, he's really, Happy is really not understanding that it's not a way to woo a girl, or let alone try to be friends with someone. Because you don't just try to break into someone's house, lick their fucking door, and yell. That's not how that works, to say the least. And finally, the biggest thing is we're introduced to a brand new kind of species in this series called Critter, which I'm doubling down and theorizing this might be another hint of SolCorp's stuff, because we all know SolCorp. And yeah, pretty much. However, one thing you probably didn't know, and something that I will admit, I wish I did this earlier, but was able to do it, is the brailles. Now, the brailles, for those who do not know, they're basically what blind people use to read out. They're just bumps that they read out, and the bumps symbolize a letter so they can read it out. Basically, the only example that in media I can clearly remember from brailles that ever been used, which is kind of cool that he was able to be creative with this, was Pokemon with the Reggies. I am not joking. Play the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, including the originals, to understand that. Anyways, because of that, it was definitely interesting. And at first I almost was clueless on how to solve it because I thought it was going to be upside down. Then I realized the black spots around the white things were actually the symbols. However, as you probably know, I do got every single coding here. And I only got mostly 2 correctly because I think I figured out what was those 2 in the first place. But the third one, the middle one, is hard. Anyways, I'll also send a comment section showing this off and, showing off my cluing finding. But here's the clues. There are Sala, E, Sol, ECD, or IEG, and Mus, blah, blah, Ace, blah, whatever the flip that really was supposed to be announced. And I put them all in Google to see what's up. So the first thing is I did this first one. I did them in order the way I found them. And the first one I kind of did got something, being the fact that I found a Luthean and Latvian mythology of the solar goddess. Rest of it I have no idea, but they do say it's a solar goddess. Once again, connecting to gods evolving, of course, around the idea of what SolCorp is, and that's obviously a reference to the sun and stuff. The second thing I got was with the second one. This one I absolutely do not know what I put in, as weird, but I put in the or one, and all it says is just plans, focus, basically just lead me to a bank. I don't know if that's really impersonal. My theory is for sure, and I know what's going on here because the third one kind of revealed it. I think these are actually anagrams, being words that are used to swap. And I know this because the third one obviously swapped it for me, which begs the question if Google can just do it with the rest of them. Being must be whatever, saying must be replaced. Which, okay, definitely, and that was the third one on the drawer. Definitely disturbing. I don't know why they put must be replaced. Is there a reference, like, did they find a new girl for Happy to like, or what the deal? I don't know. Could it be referencing to one of the bots or one of the colors, because the colors are basically missing? I remember that storyline going around. and stuff. But yeah. Also, it should be noted that there is one more video that was released afterward. I didn't watch it, but I think it has some stuff into it. I don't know. And also, that's pretty much it. So yeah, long story short, we're kind of getting more info. It does seem like GP Reed is being honest with this, and that many have to vote on what will happen to Happy. But it's already been 2 weeks now. We have to wait until episode 4, which won't be a while. Because of that, let's go ahead and kind of do one more quick review of the story so far. So pretty much, it seems like if I had to draw a theory, I theorize that it could be possible that Happy might accidentally be not really a killer, but possibly had a hidden program to him to be one. I don't know. The reason why is SolCorp is kind of puzzling when it comes to if they're a robot or not. That's always been the biggest question I always throw at them, because it is. But Happy does seem like in a having mental issues. Honestly, I don't know anymore if Happy is the killer or not. I have a gut feeling he may not be, and something else must be pulling the strings. But the people who are probably pulling that strings had to be SolCorp, because at this point, we already talked about all this before, but SolCorp has always been untrustworthy to the point of no return. I mean, hell, they cloned freaking Mikey. They have these drugs that will literally fucking kill you. They literally has some very interesting problems. They're literally trying to brainwash children with a children's show. Yeah, basically, how can you trust these people? They are weird. These are weird people. And that's the weirdest part. That's the worrying part for me about this. I don't know. That's the reason why I'm putting it unknown, because if I have two theories of what might be going on. First off, I believe that Happy might be hypnotized through, because he is mentally challenged, and not trying to go to stereotyping, I'm just saying that some people with mental disabilities will be tricked in some way. Not all the time, but I do believe that there might be a danger where they might be either somewhat hypnotizing, or he might have a split personality disorder or something, but he might actually have been doing it but not been realizing it, or B, SolCorp's been doing it and they're trying to put the pin on him, because there are a lot of stuff going on that they're trying to keep hush-hush, because they've been having a major leak. Remember, if you've seen my previous explain videos on them, apparently some person has been leaking out their information, so I don't know. And it's definitely a very interesting thing. Like, it's very interesting. All we do know is Happy is an entertainer who's doing these commercials for SolCorp. An incident happened involving a killer who is killing around, and apparently it's possible that Happy may have not doing it, but at the same time he could have, due to probably mental disabilities. There's a lot more to say about this story. There's obviously some details we're missing. Honestly, even I can't get the details, but I am willing to see what will happen with Happy. But again, I want to apologize for not getting this video out as when it should, because again, I kind of had a fallout of willingness in some cases. Nothing too major. It's just the fact that, sometimes I get down or something. And of course, last week was hella crazy. I didn't expect to get sick on Monday. I'm not going to get sick again. And of course, Thanksgiving, so it took a while. But with that being said, there is one more thing I do need to point out. I will be still doing the explain videos, but I will no longer be doing reaction videos, mostly because, as you guys know, I originally did reaction videos with StreamYard, but since StreamYard is meh right now, and I think it's because the computer, even though I did finally find a loophole, but even then, if you've been seeing my Pokemon Sword and Shield gameplays, yeah, it's still Bach, which it wasn't. I mean, one time it'd be fine, next thing you know, it cuts through crap, it's even breaking down freaking cutscenes. But because of that, and because I don't want that for reaction videos, and I don't want to do the old-fashioned way, because the old-fashioned way beforehand was me holding a phone, and we all know that's meh. I'm no longer do reaction videos of those videos. However, I will be doing these explained videos still. Like, kind of like beforehand, like even then, even before I haven't done any reactions to GB Reads videos before that much anyways. That much, so it's not a big deal. But still, just letting you guys know that this third episode will be the final episode I will be reacting to, and then I'll just I'll still watch these things, still keep an eye out for things, and do some coding for y'all. Again, it's because of many things going on right now, but still, thank you for sticking with me. Sorry this was late. Hope you all have a good day. This has been Foxcat snapping out here. Bye bye.